This is the Unit 1 Scientific Inquiry test preparation for our test at Parish 7th grade science on September 14th. This is a study guide just compiled with basically everything that we've done this unit, and it's narrated by me. So here's some useful tips and preparation info that you might want to know. The question types that will be included on the test will be multiple choice, short answer, word bank completion, data table bar or bar graph, practical work, you'll have to have both, and lab practical, just working with like temperature probes, stuff like that. You also will be advised to take note that to look at some diagrams or graphs or tables to answer some questions on the test. They will be provided. And also, some true or false questions may be included. That'll be to be decided, TBD. So, just be on the lookout for true or false questions. So, multiple choice and short answer. How do you learn best? Do you learn visually? Do you learn best by listening? Do you prefer hands-on work? Unfortunately, for some, listening will not come much in handy come the test day, because unlike, let's say, a world language, it won't be like oral speaking, that won't be included. However, for these people who do learn best by listening, you should polish your visual or hands-on skills and learning capabilities. For multiple choice questions and short answer questions, suggested techniques would be memorizing key facts and vocabulary. You'll see on, I think the next slide, some useful resources you could use for key facts or vocabulary. You could review your notes, and of course, I forgot to add this, you could review this. This is basically everything that's going to be included on the test, this particular slideshow. So, you could review this. You could compare and contrast ideas. This one's kind of a little bit off, I'd say, and you probably wouldn't be able to figure out what I mean, but I'm going to tell you what I mean by compare and contrast. You could say, like, you could compare and contrast, like, manipulated and responding variables and why they're different or something like that. Just general ideas. You could compare and contrast. Then you could review some word problems like that Franny's Fabulous Fertilizer thing from QuizStar, which is obviously the quiz-taking mechanism we use for online quizzes. So here's some of the resources I was talking about for word bank completion. So word bank completion is quite simple. Just memorize your vocabulary. I said, however, some techniques and resources include, and I use all these, by the way, the flashcard machine, very, very good. The flashcard machine is just easy to use online software. You can just sign up for it, and it looks like when you were in a little bit lower grades, they called them benders, but you can either put like a photo or a definition or something, and then have like the main word on the other side, as you see the flashcard machine, Van Gogh, the Starry Night. That's an example of that. Then Quizlet, a software I often use, as well as the flashcard machine and QuizStar. Obviously, everyone uses QuizStar when it comes to people who are at Parish, but Quizlet is a very good software. I'm sure quite a few people use this at Parish as well. It's not a required thing in 7th grade, at least as far as the classes that I take, but it's a very good software that you might, well, it's not really software, it's just a online thing, but it has some very good study kind of things that you can study with. It's actually it leans more towards world languages and vocabulary, but you can find like mathematical equations. You can write everything basically on it. it's kind of a little bit hard to explain, but it's more like flashcards definitions. But for the vocabulary, since we're talking about the vocabulary here, Quizlet fits it like a glove. I mean, you just put down the word and then put the definition on the other side, and you can just review. It's basically the same concept as a flashcard machine. So both those could be some useful advice for this. Data table and bar graph practical. You're not allowed to use Microsoft's graphing tools because you won't have a computer or laptop at hand, as far as I know. So you'll need to practice. That's why it's in capitals, because it's very important. Practice. Drawing good, neat graphs with the help of a ruler. Hand-drawn definitely isn't as good as what new technology gives us, but it's what we've got. So you just got to use a ruler. Basically, the things you'll be provided quite a few things on the test, but a ruler being one of them. So you just got to make sure that ruler's aligned, and there's some several things that here that could apply to this as well. Make sure you're when you're doing bar graphs that they are the bars themselves are the same width, not the same height obviously, but the same width as the other bar on the graph. And then another thing you should take note of is it just needs to be all neat down the lines of the graph paper. So even though we cannot use our online resources on the day of the test, the next few pages will show you what the proper graphs look like, and these will be used by like Microsoft tools. And this one is just a random one: food effects on dog diet in pounds. I just made that one up. One thing you should note, however, is and I couldn't figure out how to do this, but this isn't exactly perfect. Not in the slightest. Now, you see the legend over here, control and wait after food. The blue legend, wait after food, which you also see in the graphs. Wait after food should be on the y-axis. So this isn't perfect, obviously. So pretend wait after food, those words, are on the y-axis, which is the one going up 0 to 30. And then down where it goes for puree and the pedigree, you should put food type. And then at the very top, food effects on dog diet in pounds. So I could have added that, but just kind of slipped my mind. But I wish I kind of had a little pointer so I could show you, but I think you know. So wait after food, y-axis, type of food, x-axis. This one is a data table. Motocross results by state. So this one might not be quite what we're going to be doing, but it's a similar data table. This slideshow, I mean, I'm not an expert on technology. I mean, I'm decent at it, but I'm not an expert. So I don't know exactly how to do it, exactly like how we're going to do it in class, but this is just an example, motocross results by state. So the state, Texas, California, Florida, New York, Missouri, these are just as far as they rank in the states. I just completely made it up. So this is just a pretty good, yet random example of a bar graph. Then on the lab practical, you just need to be prepared. You need to remember what you did in a snail's pace lab and the temperature probe experiments. There is nothing much that can be done to study except go over the notes on the temperature probe and ruler notes, and those will be provided in this slideshow as well. If for some reason you didn't take the notes down in class, they will be provided, as well as everything we have done in class in this slideshow. So lab practical, pretty easy, I'd say.